Slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture films in the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah. Stop under YouTube, bro, let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Ronin, and according to the film data scientist, apparently a vanity producer. Thank you very much for that. All right, I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of the Mystery Movie Night podcast. And I want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here in the live chat. Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Cleary. Creator of the 10-Word Review, host of Films with Friends, Big Al Presents. Dark Hours joined us, as well as Logical Spark. Sci-Fi Mombi is here. Good to see you. FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Geek Flag with Nate Nose, channel member. Good to see you, sir. All right. My fellow panelists for this evening are waiting patiently backstage. So let's bring them on. The most violent woman on YouTube. I live in fear of this woman. Every time we have to go on the air, she has a staple remover, and she's not afraid to use it. You know her, you love her, you cannot live without her. The reason why I know you're all really here, Sin's Corner.
I'm running out of weapons to come up with, but today is a measuring tape, because you know how many times this can wrap around, you know. Okay, that's my weapon.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who has shanghaied himself into this broadcast, Enigma Severus. You are muted, sir.
Oh, Enigma, you're so muted.
My bad. In honor of the movie, this is my version of the English cup of tea. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Right on. There needs to be another man with a beard on this broadcast. There must be no less than 3 beards. Corey of Wilkie's Movies and Music.
There we go.
Yes.
It's been completed.
We gotta have beards with some light
well
in
done.
it too.
Yes.
We gotta have some color in there.
All right.
Or lack thereof. So
I am often told there are not enough women on my shows. And apparently they feel Sen doesn't count for some reason. Maybe it's the staple remover thing. I don't know. But we managed to find another one who was not afraid to come on. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rachel, the elder millennial.
Hello. You know, when you said beard, I was like, oh, man, he's right. I didn't sleep today. Crap. I was like, I took a shower and I forgot.
Dang it. All right. I do want to say hello to a few other people who have joined us. Channel member JPRPH1. Always good to see you. Real Crow Air. If I got that right. I cannot see. I am half blind. Jesus died so you could live. Yeah. Nice little Easter message. And hello to Lazar, MMS. All right. So the group got two different films tonight. And hello to Jane Doe, Letty, and Holland Oates.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi, Holland.
And Holland.
Holland is here. Right on. All right. So we got two films. And due to our volunteering guidelines, Rachel was kicked over the side of the boat, much as Jacques Cousteau used to do with his son Philippe. So she's going to be doing the first movie tonight.
Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques Cousteau. Show me Jacques Cousteau. Okay. All right. So the first movie that we're going to discuss tonight is Faces of Death with Barbie Ferreira, Dacre Montgomery, and that Charlie woman whose name I can't remember. So there you go.
Barbie Ferreira, Dacre. Isn't it Dacre Montgomery?
Dacre, yeah.
Dacre.
Yeah.
Dacre Montgomery.
Billy from Stranger Things.
I didn't watch Stranger Things after season
Rob
1.
Lowe
So.
lookalike. Young Rob Lowe lookalike.
Yeah.
So this was playing at my AMC, and it wasn't as crowded as the previous ones. I would say like 20% less. The movie previous to this was completely full, and I was so surprised. And it was the same theater, so I was like, "Oh, this one's a little less." But Faces of Death, I'm going to read the Wikipedia thing. Is an American horror film, and it's a remake of the 1978 film. That I guess it was a fake one, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard about it. Never saw the other one.
Yeah, it was weird. They tell you it's fake in this film, and I'm wondering if that's still the message that's going on. But anyway, so the premise is there's Barbie Ferreira and Dacre Montgomery. Barbie Ferreira is a woman who moderates a TikTok-like platform. She works at this place called Kino, and she's responsible for filtering out any content that's offensive or violent. And she comes across a user who appears to be reenacting the murders from the original film. And so as misinformation spreads widely online, she has to determine whether or not it's real and whether or not she can do something about it. Because you learn quickly, where she works is just this. I mean, she's going through these videos and you're seeing like the people talking about how to put a condom on a banana, and she flags it as, a sexual thing. And other people are like talking about other things, doing like jackass tricks and stuff like that. And she'll mark it as, safe, but, slightly like dangerous or whatever. So she's that kind of moderator. You find out very early on, something happened to her. She's got PTSD. She has like a little baggie of pills, and you quickly realize, oh, those aren't prescription pills. And she is also on prescription pills. There was a viral accident that she was a part of that had an unfortunate accident.
A viral accident?
A viral video.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A viral video.
Okay.
That happened to be an accident. And,
okay.
Yeah, and it turned into a bad accident. And it involved her sister. So when you're finding all this out, you understand that she thinks that her place now in this world is to try and clean up the internet because of everything that's going on. And she comes across these videos. At first, she thinks that they're fake. And then her roommate is a huge horror fan. And so she comes home and sees one of the videos that looks exactly like the imitation of what she's been seeing online. And she's like, oh, tell me all about this. So her roommate tells her all about the 1978 video. But then it turns out that doctor who made the video made everything up. And so she's trying to get more information and out of her roommate. And he provides like all this information for her to go digging and stuff. But that's the unfortunate thing, is that there's a big rule at where she works, is that do not look at anything outside of this. Do not investigate anything outside of this. You have signed an NDA, all this different stuff. So she's trying to tell her boss. I don't want to give away like too much. She's trying to tell her boss, and he's not listening. She tricks him into using his computer to get access to the data file so she can track down this person and see whether or not it's real. Completely in violation of her work. Things happen, and I'm not going to give away like the ending of the movie just yet, because we're not like in any sort of like spoiler territory. But the movie went from sort of believable and a really good horror film, and it just, the decisions that were made towards the end were just catastrophic. I'm going to turn the page here. I mean, in very large letters, stupid, grab the gun. It was just dumb decision after dumb decision towards the end. And I was like, oh no, to the point where I got to the end of the page here and I knew that it was like maybe 15 minutes or 10 minutes left. I didn't write anymore because I was like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Why did you do this? Make this decision. Why did you make that decision? Overall, I liked the performances. I think Barbie Ferreira is a very good upcoming actress. Dacre Montgomery was really good. He plays, I wrote it down. Is it Buffalo Bill that is the character in Silence of the Lambs? Is that his? Yeah. Okay. It reminded me of him, completely reminded me of him. Did a really good job. The music, there are certain parts of this music, and the music was by Gavin Brivik. It ripped it from Stranger Things. And I was just like, is it because Dacre's in this? Is that why you did this? The synth music, the sounds of it. I was
Does this take place in the 80s? No, it doesn't take place in the 80s.
No,
right. It wouldn't. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I would say overall, it was a good movie up until the end. I would recommend it for streaming. But I'm not sure how much this is going to make out there. I would give it like 5 million over domestically. I would probably say that it might reach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Ask questions, because I'm way easier answering questions than talking about stuff.
So I guess the one question I would have is, did anyone see the original Faces of Death film from the 70s?
I have not. Yeah. Haven't.
I was actually going to ask, should I watch something before I go into this one?
You don't need to.
Okay.
You've seen this, Corey?
There's multiple ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the 80s, that was a big VHS tape.
I remember back in the day, and it was like urban legend that it was real.
Maybe that's why the music came into it, if they're going off of trying to remember.
Could be. Well,
so that was the allure of it. That was like when we were younger. That was like that's the off the limit movie there. And if somebody could get it rented on VHS and we could watch it, and there was multiple of them, and it did a mix of fake reenactments and like. Sometimes it was just news footage of horrific accidents or, things like that. It was kind of a mix of things. So
yeah, some of the footage that they showed in the movie itself, referring back to it, a lot of it had to do with like satanic rituals, cutting of skulls and things like that. That's where the snuff part of it came from and things like that. So yeah, I remember hearing about it, but
yeah, they'd have everything from like reenactments of like snuff type videos to actual news footage of like airline crashing or things like that. So that was kind of the what's real and what's not. And at that time, you couldn't go out and go, "Hey Google, is this real?"
Exactly.
And so I think that's where it pulled that mystique over the name of Faces of Death. So
now I was quite young when the Faces of Death movies came out, and very much again that urban legend. Is it real? Yeah, no. Is it not real? Mm-hmm. And now in riding the bus to school, even though I went to a parochial school in my early years, teenagers are teenagers, and they went out and they saw everything. And so they would always tell us the younger kids, and they would go into very graphic detail of what would happen in all of these different movies. But when it came to Faces of Death, everybody was just like, suddenly very mum, which really had me concerned. How graphic does this movie get? Because of course, again, that whole urban legend. This was real. You are watching real people really being killed in all these really horrific ways. Now, of course, we know. No, you couldn't show something like that.
Yeah, snuff films aren't legal.
Even though there's apparently a movie that Netflix got away with doing, but we'll talk about that off stage. But it was one of those movies that sort of nobody talked about, and so my understanding of this, and I don't think this is kind of really a spoiler because it's kind of out there, is that the killer in this film is using the past movies as he's kind of like a copycat, and he's doing essentially reenactments of these scenes from the past film.
They specifically show one reenactment from the 78 Faces of Death where someone is coming out of a house and all of these bullets just immediately shoot him up, and you see him doing it like that. That is an actual execution that takes place that he reenacts in one of the films. So yeah.
Oh, sounds like it suffers from the typical tropey nonsense of people not doing things that you would think that they would do. Common sense stuff that gets under my skin.
Yeah. Common sense stuff. So she, unfortunately, she gets let go, but it's not because of what you might think. It's because she accidentally leaves her Adderall in her boss's office, and her boss catches it the next day and has to let her go. Not because she actually downloaded the data information and took it from his computer, because he doesn't know that yet.
Oh, okay.
But she was so focused on that one thing that she forgot to clean up her mess and got fired. And I was just like, oh, I can see you're starting to make stupid decisions. You're going to make stupid. And from there, she made stupid decisions.
Ugh.
And I was like, ugh.
Because the plot had to happen.
Yeah.
That is such lazy writing,
And Charlie XCX is in this. And I was just like, really? Oh, she must have been that one girl that had 3 lines. Okay.
That's what I've heard. She's long enough to go, oh, hey. And then she's out.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so her name could be attached. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying about using the mystique of the 80s to say, you really can't Google any of this information to know if it's true or not. When I was very young, my dad allowed me to watch Silence of the Lambs. And so, this is when you can't Google things. So at the end of Silence of the Lambs, he's like, and he's never been caught. And so me, in my child brain, I'm assuming this is a true story on a true serial killer of,
Oh, gosh.
Hannibal Lecter. And so I'm Googling one day, I was like, what is the real life of Hannibal Lecter? And it's like, it is a fictional character. I was like, what? This was real.
But I think that's where some of those older films, they just boomed because of that lack of knowledge or being able to find out. Even going into super late 90s, like Blair Witch Project. I mean, that was I remember that being one where people are like, is that real? Is it not real? Kind of even at that time, people now could probably look at it and be like, oh, how did you not know, kind of a thing. Yeah. But you didn't have the availability to, search things and look it up. So
yeah, you had no way to find out.
Looking back on this and thinking while everyone's talking, it's a strong message on, social networking now and social media and recognition and everything like that. Because you're watching this and you're like, wait, why is he going after these random people? And they're all people who are sort of pseudo famous streamers in their own niche way once a high schooler girl who is so popular that she just can't stop being attacked on the street, and another one is apparently just like a regular anchor man that does good causes, but maybe is too boastful about it. But it was an interesting take on what society, what they were trying to say, because in the end you find out the killer just wanted recognition. He wanted to be the one that was like loved and admired and adored. And I'm wondering if they're trying to say this is just maybe the first step in what might happen in real life in the future. Will people really take it this far to be that famous?
There was an NCIS episode about this. So,
Really?
yeah, I could tell you the season and everything. So, yeah, it's the guy from Suits,
Yes.
the genius from Suits. I can't remember his name at this second. It's
Patrick something.
Patrick Adams.
Yeah, he is actually the guy in the NCIS episode. Ends up later on becoming the genius kid, boy wonder in Suits. But yeah, one of his first roles is in NCIS, and the episode is exactly like you're describing. So,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was a little interested to go check it out on the big screen. I don't think I'm going to now. Rachel, thank you.
No, don't check it out on the
I
big
think it would
screen,
annoy me.
unfortunately. Yes. Watch it though. I would watch it because I would want to see what everyone thinks about the ending and the decisions towards the end. I like what it had to say about social media and being too absorbed in that, especially with what happens to her. Man.
I
Okay.
just
Imagine if it puts out like the original Faces of Death now, that the kind of reaction that would get. One of the thing that's kind of giving me pause about this movie is I'm kind of getting the impression that it's kind of in the same vein of that Psycho Killer movie from a couple of months
I
ago.
didn't see that.
Because
Thank
Josh
you.
said not to see it.
Yeah, I heard it was so bad. I didn't
The
see
thing
it.
is, it's not good, but as the year is going by, it's starting to click up a couple of notches for me. Because
Psycho
Psycho
Killer.
Killer.
Psycho
Oh.
Killer.
yeah.
Because the thing that I don't know about that movie is that I don't know if they were being serious with it or if they were taking the piss, so to speak. Okay, we meant it to be kind of over the top and goofy. If that was the idea, then 4 stars, great. What was that movie? The Matthew Nichols thing, where if they were
Hunting
trying to make,
Nichols, yeah.
when I said if they were trying to make like a dark comedy, then yeah, you did it. But
Yeah.
and then if Psycho Killer was trying to be kind of goofy and funny and over the top, then it works. If they were trying to be serious with it, what the hell were they thinking? And I'm kind of getting something of that kind of a hit off of this. I don't know. I've seen some reviews for this movie. There are people who do genuinely enjoy it, but then there are some other people who are kind of questioning certain things. So I don't know. I'm curious.
Not to be insulting. Oh yeah, go. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, please.
No, not to be insulting. I think right now, and I'm not saying this is going to happen for the future. I'm just saying right now, it seems like the those who are very big fans of the horror genre and those who are really wanting to break new ground in the horror genre are not quite finding it yet.
Yes.
And that's all.
Yes.
It's
like
they're
they
giving
had
props,
steps. Yeah.
They
had the, because I'll say this, you feel for all the characters. So I mean, I loved the acting. Everyone did a great job, even the side characters and everything like that, without giving too much away. But the decision making towards the end is what I am
Yeah.
just like, what? Okay.
Mhm.
So
That
Yes.
gets on my nerves so much. I can take maybe one stupid decision or a little, slip here and there, but when it gets to where it's piling on, oh, I get so angry.
yeah, I was sitting in the very, very back and I was like, thank you, Jesus, I'm in the back row. Cause at the end I was like, what I was talking to the screen like it was my
Aw.
living room. I was like, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so
Oh, I'm sorry. It sounds like you didn't have the best experience. That kind of sucks. I wish you'd gotten the movie we got.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I'm glad I got this one though. I never not enjoyed going out to the movies. I'll just say that. I do love it. I love the experience. I love
Oh, yeah.
sitting there. I love it. I love it. So yeah. Although I am very happy I missed that Private Life, the 2 weeks ago.
Fantasy Life.
Fantasy Life?
Fantasy Life.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That wasn't.
No.
So glad I missed that
I mean,
one.
I've seen worse, but I really wish it could have been better.
Yeah.
I think they could've
Nothing
been-
happened for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
To answer Bill's question, only Corey.
Yeah.
Corey is the only one who has seen the original documentary. So
There was a few of them I saw.
there's
but-
I think there's like what, 3 of them altogether. I think
Okay.
And he
back
had
in
to
the
get
day,
them smuggled
3,
into
4.
the house. So
Mm.
All right, I do want to real quick say hello to a few people who've joined us here in the chat. Proctophile, Bonzo Kilborn, John Doe Juggalo. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Jeff.
Johnny's watching. What Johnny's watching? Paolo Montiel. And of course, Alto Labelle. All right. And our man from the future,
Yes.
Sashi.
Sashi's here.
Right on. Okay. All right. So, Faces of Death. You haven't seen it? So then we didn't. It's
2 out of 5.
Miss Rachel.
2.5,
2.5?
2.5 out of 5.
Yeah. Okay. So
Mm.
that's not great. Yeah.
2.5 out of 5, 5 out of 10. I couldn't give it a
Yeah.
6.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, 6 is kind of like it did well with what it did. You know?
Yeah. Right. Like
Mhm.
it's not a total disaster, but it
Mhm.
could have been much better. But I didn't
Right.
Mhm.
outright hate it. That sort of
Mhm.
thing. That's kind of where 6 is for me a lot of times.
Hmm.
All
And then
right.
from there, 7, 8, 9, 10, it just goes up from there. But yeah, that's exactly where I'm at with 6s as well.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be in a rush to watch. What's up with the red eyes? Does he really have red eyes in
At
the
a
movie?
certain point, he does, yes.
Okay.
And the
alright.
red tape is featured dramatically.
Okay. It's just an
It's
interesting
very
look.
visually good.
I
Yeah,
like
it's a
the
very
poster.
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly.
Very
Wait
striking.
till it comes on streaming and get it then. Watch
Okay.
it then.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've got too much going on in my offline
Yeah.
life anyway to waste time on something that I think might not sit with me very well. So I'll skip it.
So you're not dying to see that one again.
See what you did there.
Yeah, I just felt like I didn't know if they were just cashing in on the name, like
Probably.
nothing to I know they were doing copycat things from it, but just to be like, oh, that was a big crazy thing in the late 70s, early 80s. Let's go with that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's a
like I
thing.
said, I was
There's
a
a
kid.
bunch
I
of 'em.
didn't. I didn't see any of them. I didn't see that. I didn't see Mondo Connie or any of those kind of movies. So that's something I had to. I have to catch up. I didn't even see Cannibal Holocaust until I was in like my 30s. So
Same. Yeah.
if not even older. So the movies that you always hear about, but you never actually got around to watching. So okay. Saucy says, so this is the Moderator Against Misinformation movie.
Mhm.
I
Sounds like.
kind of, I guess, yeah. All right. If you consider a serial killer misinformation, I don't know. All right. All right. So let us move on to our next film this evening. And this is a movie that has some controversy attached to it. And I think it's all kind of media made, to be honest.
Oh, of course.
And that is I Swear.
Yep.
Written and directed and co-produced by Kurt Jones, and starring Robert Aramayo, who some of you might know from the Rings of Power TV series. And this is the sort of thing he should be doing, because he is fantastic in this. I understand why he
So
won
good.
the BAFTA.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
and if he does not get Oscar nominated for this, because the film is eligible for this year, if he's not nominated,
I was wondering, but here's my next question, because I mentioned
Yeah.
this in my review, which I filmed earlier today.
Mhm.
If it doesn't follow certain stupid number rules,
Uh-huh.
it might not be eligible, which is just
for Best Picture for sure. Yeah.
insane, dumb, can't
All right,
stand it, stupid.
Here's
Scotland.
Come on.
It's
Yeah,
Scotland.
it's
what?
Scotland.
Yeah, it's Scotland.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but that's they still have that, and so does over there in the UK. They have those stupid rules too.
They have again, yeah, but
Oh, this movie,
mhm.
it's on my list of favorites already.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it was great.
Freaking fantastic. I already had a copy of it, but I had held off on watching it because I was like, I kind of had to gird my heart, before watching this, because it is heartbreaking. It
Yeah.
is so freaking sad what this guy went through. I was moved to tears multiple times. Like the peaks and valleys of his life, you feel it with him, and I understand why people have the reaction to his disorder that they do, because they just don't get it. We're many years later now from the events of this story.
Yeah,
We should be more informed, which is why, to me, what happened at the BAFTAs, I feel really bad for all three. I feel bad for the two men that were on the stage, and for John, because I think everybody knew. I think they probably knew, but it's still startling, right? When it happens, you're watching the movie and he's doing and saying stuff, and it's like, oh shit, like, oh my gosh. But still, the way
Yeah.
he was treated afterwards, it's the perfect demonstration of why people need to just know and understand more about this, which is what he has spent a large part of his life doing. But what really gets to me, you guys? Even when you explain this to people, they don't want to hear it. Some people, they don't want to hear it. They just don't want to hear it. They have decided, well, he's just a racist with Tourette's. He has Tourette's, but he happens to be racist. Yeah. I just can't. It's like this intentional, willful ignorance that some people have.
Yeah.
And I said to one person, would you be angry at someone who couldn't walk, that didn't stand up and applaud a winner of an award? And they were like, no, what a dumb thing to ask. I'm like, well, then you shouldn't be angry at this guy. He literally cannot help what he is doing.
Well, and wasn't that something somebody said too? Like, would you be angry at a blind person for running into you?
They say that in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Mhm.
but it's just like, but then when you understand what's going on, you're like, okay,
Would you be angry at a diabetic if they didn't take their insulin, or if a diabetic, they have a spell in front of you? Because diabetics can do some really weird stuff when they have a spell. My grandma was one, and she could get violent, and she had no idea what in the world she was doing. But it was just, it was very sad to see what he went through, and it was sad to know that he'll probably never have like a partner, because it's hard. It's difficult, even if it's still so shocking and jarring, the stuff that he would do in public. But yeah, this movie, for my whole life up until a certain point, I just thought of Tourette's as this comedic thing you see in movies sometimes. And then I saw like this little documentary or feature thing, maybe 2020 or, one of those types of shows where it was profiling this person with Tourette's. I had no idea it involved like those physical twitches and the beatings and I just had no clue that I thought it was just funny outbursts. Oh my gosh, there's so much more to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's really sad,
Yeah, I used to live with a guy who actually had this. We were in school. He was assigned to live in the apartment with us and everything, which was fine. But yeah, he never brought it up. And so one day you just see him doing the physical attributes. And I really want to say the actor portrayed them perfectly. It was just like, that is exactly the distinctions that he would do. And so again, my roommate never had violent outbursts, never had phrases yelled or anything like that, but he had the mild twitches that he could not help. And so from time to time he would do OCD things, but other than that, it was just like, he's a normal person. It's just like, he has a great personality. Why would you get upset about the other stuff? And so yeah, he did so well in this film. And
yeah, like when it was showing the real guy at the end for a second, I thought it was the actor. And I was like, oh no, that's the real guy.
Yeah, I love seeing that. I completely enjoyed, especially for I really want to go back and look at the accuracy for everything because if you look at the film, they actually do a very, very concise and very perfected outline of all of the questions you yourself as the audience might have. Okay, what was it like when you were a kid? Okay, what things are you able to do? Can you work? No, you can't work. You have to have somebody really demonstrate grace. The amount of people that he had in his life showing him grace to help him along the way. Can you have a relationship? No. Can you do this? No. And these are the experiences that he's going through even when he tries, And so that was a phenomenal film.
I don't know, y'all. I have really, the only con that I have about this is at the beginning, takes place in 2019, when he said F the Queen. When he goes there for
Sorry, Mom.
the ceremony,
Sorry, Mom.
They had, his hair is kind of grayish. They have his gray, and he didn't look like he was in his late 40s, and the mother who's Moaning Myrtle, she didn't look like the age that she was at the end of the film. That's the most I can say in any sort of potential con, and it's not even a con, y'all. It was just noticeable. It wasn't distracting. It didn't take away from anything. This movie is beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. It's so good.
I keep forgetting that she was Moaning Myrtle because I was.
How could you forget that voice?
Because
she has the same voice.
I get it.
Moaning, not mooning.
But the thing is, she's like supposed to be a teenager in those films, and she was like 35,
in her 30s,
yeah. And so it's kind of it's almost like I got to go back to the 90s to 90s television for a minute and go, it's kind of like that, But so yeah, it's a good cast. Peter Mullen, who I've always been a big fan of. He's one of those guys you might not know him by name, but there's that there. And he's in Braveheart. He's actually into Harry Potter films as well.
He is?
Which one is he?
He is.
Limitedly, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one is he in the movie?
Tommy.
No, in Harry Potter.
In Harry Potter, he's I think he's like one of the what do they call them? Dementors or something. The bad guys are all dressed in black. He's one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's fantastic in a movie called Session 9. If you ever get a chance to see, it's a horror film. It's just kind of haunted.
Session 9. Oh, I
great
when I first
movie.
saw that, told everyone. I was like, watch Session 9.
Yeah.
Watch Session 9.
Is that the one where they're going into this old asylum?
The old asylum.
And is that David Caruso as well?
David Caruso's in it. Yeah.
I've
and
what I love that he said
when he was in court is when they said, well, he's just faking. He goes, are you serious? He goes, you're going to give me the explanation that he's faking and he's going to willingly choose to destroy any opportunity for a relationship. He is going to willingly choose to destroy in our,
to be beaten up.
yeah, in our
He was
modern
attacked many times.
Oh yeah. In our modern 2026 era, that might be a thing where somebody has, gone through great lengths to be that lazy. But during his time frame and when there is no flipping way he was willing to, put himself into a hospital over a misunderstanding just to be able to get himself arrested or,
Or try to self-delete.
Yeah.
Like when, can you imagine how absolutely terrifying that must have been for him? He's 13, 14 years old. And this weird stuff starts happening and he does not understand and it tears his family apart. Oh my gosh. And he was just a kid, and he had to go sit and eat in front of the fireplace because he would accidentally spit.
Yeah.
At the table.
But he was like all alone, like
I had felt so bad for this kid.
But I think that was the cool thing later on, learning the things that he did in his life to let other younger people know that they're not alone. And
that scene in the car with that other
but that's like that's like one of those healing moments where they're like, I'm not alone. Like but the parents outside were like,
they were like,
do we go in? Do we not? And they're like, no, just give it a minute.
They were just going to town. That was so funny.
But then Rachel, they ended up connecting, and
well, that was the whole reason that they called him. To explain to Rachel, because she has no idea. So at some point, what happens basically, eventually he becomes someone who's like an advocate for people with Tourette's and tries to educate like the police so that they understand, like all schools, and talks to parents and stuff. But when that started in the movie, these parents come to him and they say, basically, can you come talk to our daughter?
Because we heard you have something kind of like that, and so can you talk to her? And
they get in the car. He gets in the car,
and he takes that seatbelt, and he just
he wraps a seatbelt around his hand because he has a tick with his hand where he'll just
with his right hand he'll punch
with his right hand, like he has hit people before with his hand. He doesn't mean to. It's just like boom.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
because she's like, what? And he's like, so I don't hit you.
Yeah. And then they both just go off like all these terrible, nasty insults that they're throwing to each other, and like the ticks and their
for like
their
2 minutes.
Yeah, it goes
straight.
on. It was so funny.
It goes on.
And the parents are outside of the car, can hear everything.
Like,
and then they're like, do we intervene or stay back? And I think the mother was finally just let it go. Just let it go for a little bit.
Wow.
But then
really
they end
funny.
up laughing and connecting, and there's some deeper conversations later in the movie too between the two of them.
I also love how
it helps both of them.
They always go and search for him because his buddy. Another thing too, but they always go and search for him because they were saying you need to advocate. But I feel if he took it upon himself to go and willingly do it, people were not going to be as receptive. But you have the police officer coming to him and saying, I want you to speak. And you have the parents coming, and then you had an entire organization coming, saying, please speak to us.
And I think it was one of those things that it was very cool to see the arc of his character, and this is real life person, his growth that he had with it, but like all the hardships and the things he had to deal with, and maybe it was a reluctant not saying he didn't want to, but just like the hesitancy he had to put it out there from the things that he had to face. And then people coming to him and he's like, okay, maybe all these things that I went through, all these trials and tribulations, I can help somebody. I can make it, a little bit better for them, or at least they know they're not on their own on this thing. And that movie in my whole theater, it was pretty full for my mystery movie. And I'll say there was moments of like gasps You know, like
Yes.
the right
Yeah.
right hand punches a couple times.
Yes, especially on the couch
Yeah.
in the office.
Yep.
That one was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
The funny one was when he
the
goes,
office, or but then
Christmas.
even in the grocery store too. Like,
Yeah.
but there was like gasps, like, oh my gosh, and then there was like almost crying because like, oh my gosh, he cannot help this, and he's getting
Yeah.
beat with a crowbar right now, you know, kind of a thing. Two laughs. You know, it's kind of like life though. It's like you have all those ebbs and flows, and this movie I thought kind of hit all over. It had a lot of feels, we'll say that.
Yeah. Without feeling sappy
I
or
would agree.
cheesy.
I would agree. No, in a good way.
yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, agree. I can't recommend this highly enough. Just
And
be
they-
prepared. It's very it's rough, but it's worth
Yeah.
a watch. Like
think
Better
that-
Man, y'all. It kind of like Better Man, except Better Man was so much darker because this one has more moments of
Levity.
where yeah, there are like the time in the courtroom. Oh my gosh, I laughed out loud so hard because his lawyer was the black guy. And he was trying to explain to the judge,
He's
but
like,
he
"Believe
says
me."
all these misogynistic, sexist, homophobic slurs and racist slurs, some of which even I have not experienced before. It was
Okay.
really funny.
There was a laugh through the audience with that one where he was like, I've never even heard
even
some of
I
these
haven't even heard
before.
of
You know, like, but he's like, he doesn't he it's not intentional, you know.
No.
Right.
I think they intentionally put in the film as well, and I picked up on it halfway through, but I really believe dialogue and script wise, they really wanted to put his name in there as many times as possible. John.
John. Yeah,
Always.
Davidson, yeah.
You always hear Davidson, you always hear
Davidson.
John, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't think they tried to do any sort of loving type deer hunt, any of those. It was always his name. So
Well,
Yeah, it was
there's a lot of feel good moments though too, where I mean he shows a lot of strength to keep on going through those things, but then the couple characters that show up in his life that are
or
willing
his
to,
salvation almost, you know.
but just accepting this is who you are, and we understand what it is, and we're going to work through this. We can do this together, kind of a thing, which is, I don't know, it's cool to see.
Yeah, I think that the one of the hardest moments, and there were a lot of moments that really got me. I'm glad I had tissue. I specifically during the trailers, I went to the bathroom and I got a handful of tissue because I had a feeling, and yeah, I needed them. But yeah, it was so. Oh my gosh, it was so heartbreaking. But the moment that really was very rough to watch, and some of his best acting was when he was in the hospital because when he had been beaten so
Yeah.
badly and he had that neck brace and oh my god,
and
Well, just trying to stop, but then going through the pain. And
yeah, and his body was like ticking,
Yeah,
doing the
but
ticks,
he couldn't
and
stop
he's
it.
in pain and he hurts.
And he was-
everything hurts. Oh.
and he was putting him, or he was, there was more pain because of that.
because
you know?
of the yeah, exactly.
And he just, yeah. No, that's
Oh.
crazy. I did not have any clue what this movie was going to be when we went into it. But when it came up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the BAFTA one. And I hate that it's like now that,
that it's associated with that.
yeah, but
Right.
I didn't know anything. I'll plead ignorance. I didn't know anything about it before that whole whatever you want to call it. But man, I have a
Incident.
whole new respect. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a very good movie.
I knew about this one. One of my other YouTube buddies, her name is Lisa Loves. I love her channel. She's cool. She's from Ireland. And she listed this as her favorite movie of last year. And she first started talking about it, saying it was a true story. And I thought she was going to say Better Man. But she said, I swear. And she explained it. I'd never heard of it before, but that's when I was, aware of it because it was released last year. Over there, like overseas. It's just now coming here. Did you hear what Grace Randolph said?
Oh
You know,
Lord,
after the whole BAFTA
Is that what
thing,
he
I'm afraid to ask.
after the whole
I didn't hear
BAFTA
that.
thing. So I'm just like full body, you know, bleh.
You have Tourette's, huh?
And I can't believe that she inspired me to start my channel. But anyway, whatever. After the BAFTA things, she's like doing her old virtue signaling shit and everything. And she was all pissed that it's releasing here in the same weekend as Michael.
Oh yes, I
And
remember
she
that.
felt like
Yeah.
that they should just reconsider moving the. I was like, yeah, she made
All
me
right, well,
angry.
I'm going to tell you about Michael right now. That's going to be the Bohemian Rhapsody version
Yeah.
of Michael
You think it's
Jackson's
good?
life.
I hate that too because
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it, but I don't know.
They
They had to
already had-
redo so much of it because.
What do you mean it's going to be the Bohemian? Like meaning they didn't do a
They're-
good job with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
so the-
sorry. I
It-
was thinking.
but,
I
all
was
right, but
thinking
what
the
happens
other
with
movie.
Bohemian?
Rocket
What
Man.
happens
You were
with
thinking Rocket Man.
No, I was thinking of the Bob Marley movie, which wasn't good. I heard.
Oh God.
I thought
No,
that's what you
Bohemian
meant.
Rhapsody.
Okay.
Freddie
all
Mercury,
right.
because
Okay.
it cleans up Freddie Mercury's life. It PG-13's Freddie Mercury.
But then it also lies about the group actually ever separating or doing anything. Even my dad was going,
Yeah.
my dad goes, when they did that concert for Rite Aid or whatnot, he said the only reason that they were not in the public eye was because they had toured so much they needed a break. And so he said they took
Yeah.
a rest for about a month.
They
Hmm.
didn't.
Yeah.
Well, because of all right, we'll go into it because it's a story. It's out there. They have Michael has cut out all references to the abuse allegations.
And okay,
Oh.
and I'll tell you why.
That's kind
I'll
of
tell
giving
you
that
why.
up.
It's not because they didn't want to, because they had filmed it with all that
They did.
stuff in there.
Yeah.
But the filmmaker did not know. It's Fuqua, right? Antoine Fuqua?
See, yeah.
He did not know that there was some sort of legal agreement that they weren't allowed to do that. So they had to revamp everything. I
Oh,
wish they had been able to leave it in. But yeah, they revamped everything. So that's why it got pushed
Oh,
back from last
no.
year to
Well,
this year.
I remember as a kid, they had a TV documentary based on his life where it discussed very, very graphically his childhood. And then I also know that they had the concert based one and back in like, I really want to say it was 2009 or something called This Is
This
It.
is it. Yeah, I went to go see that
Yeah,
when it
so-
came to theaters.
I already knew of the original documentary because my dad had they had watched that TV documentary of his life. And of course, I'm 10, 11 at the time, so I have no clue as what's happening, but at least with him, you just know that he's a big artist. And so anyway, yeah, I was assuming they were going to water it down, I guess, but I didn't know there was legal discussion on it.
Yeah,
So-
no, they had filmed it and then they were like, no, you can't do that. So they had to like redo a lot of stuff, like rewrite much of it because of
Wow.
that. So I guess do reshoots of stuff. That's a bummer,
Well, pardon me, I didn't know how late in his life that movie was going to go through either. So
And is it still going to be a two-parter? Because I had heard it was supposed to be. Now I don't know. Do you
I had
guys
never
know?
heard it was supposed to be a two-parter
Yeah, I
until
heard
now.
We found that out with Dune too. Me and my dad were at the theater watching the first Dune, and it goes
Oh, no.
part one, and we both go, "What?"
What?
He was like, "I don't like that." I was like, "Me either, dude."
Well, I already bought my ticket for Michael because I've been wanting to watch it. So I'm going to go with my mom. So
that's
you
still
know,
a couple weeks, isn't it? Or-
it's at the end of
Yeah.
April.
But
Yeah.
this guy, I still want to argue the movie still is not able to capture just how beautiful Scotland really is. It's an amazing country. But they do have a lot of like I was giving you guys in the chat, the house that he was at and everything, and their living style of that, it is so on point. The heating radiator things inside the sectional heating that they have inside the houses, that looks a little bit advanced, but for the most part, everything else, brought back so many memories when I had traveled over there. Just all the small details that they had. It was very beautifully done.
The one thing I wanted to go back and check out again is when they do at the beginning of the movie, the kind of reenactment or acting out of him meeting the Queen.
Yeah.
Later, they show actual footage of it.
Yes,
and the
they
actual
do.
footage,
Yeah.
I noticed he was wearing his kilt, and I don't know if he had a kilt at the beginning.
Yeah.
Did
Did
he?
he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I did. I just
Oh, I saw
that
it.
just
I
went
gotta
right
go
over my
back
head.
and-
Maybe
I
he
gotta go
did. I
back
just
and-
didn't pay
He did.
attention.
But
I think I
had it
was
on.
focused on his fake gray hair.
Because they had
it was
the
very
shot-
fake. I did notice that.
They had the shot of him waist up and everything, and she was Moaning Myrtle's talking to him and everything. Like,
Oh no, that wasn't Moaning Myrtle that was with him. I think
Oh,
that was Dottie.
It's
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dottie.
So yeah,
Okay,
she's
we can-
talking to him and he's like, yes, you're going to go in there. Yes, you're going to do this. And so then as he's walking away, you see the expanded shot. And yeah, he's wearing his kilt. And I was
Okay.
like,
I got to see it again. I don't know. I got to see it again.
I believe you. I just, for some reason, that didn't stick in my brain.
It didn't jump out at me
I was
until I,
like,
saw the real.
oh, this is the time where he did that with the Queen.
Yeah,
I knew
but-
that's what it was leading up to.
But I saw the actual footage and I'm like, okay, that's realistic to me because that's what he would do. You know, like from Scotland. You know,
And I
wearing a
love-
kilt with it.
I loved his real mom's response with the entire situation because she was exhausted. You could tell it was weighing on her, but the focusing of either person, Dottie, and the focusing of his mom. His mom was very focused on the outward appearance of her family, which is fully understandable. It's fully understandable. And for more that she said she was a nurse and for more, but the Dottie, who is no longer focused on herself or the outward appearance, but more of how she can give, and that mentality really did become a savior for him because, I mean, he was so embarrassed when he first met them and everything. He broke the
Yeah.
fourth
I
mirror.
mean, what he said to her.
Yeah.
And apparently he really did say that because they
Yeah.
said in the real video clips of what he said to her.
And she
Well,
loved
part of the
it. She was
part of the
like,
real video clip too is him giving a right hook to her.
Yeah,
too, isn't
smacking
it?
her.
Yeah.
Except in the video clip, I think it was his left hand.
Okay, but either way, I mean,
Yeah, he
like,
smacked her right in the face.
yeah, like give her a clock right in the nose.
The
That's
Queen?
what I texted. I
Yeah.
texted, I love this movie. When he had said that to her, I go, I love this movie. It's like, this is the best.
Okay, what he said to her, which you can kind of imagine because so when he meets her, he's told that she's been diagnosed with liver cancer. I think it's liver cancer, and she has only 6 months to live. And so when he meets her, one of the first things he says is something like, "You're gonna fucking die of cancer," or something like that. You know, it's,
So funny.
But
Diane.
the thing I love, she goes, "You've been the most honest person to me
Yeah.
in the last
she's
like
like,
I don't
"Nice
know
to
how
meet
long."
you too."
Yeah, but she's like, "You've been the most honest to me that anybody has been lately," kind of a thing. So,
Oh,
so
poor
I think
guy.
both of them had like this
Oh
relief.
yeah,
Because they
Their
both were
relationship
dealing
was
with
beautiful.
something where people didn't know how to act around them.
exactly. Yeah,
And she even said that. She goes, we're helping each other.
yeah,
we're-
yeah.
And so, yeah, it was amazing to see that, that entire relationship, the dynamic that they had. But they even had that little twist where she goes, we're going to need to get straight with your language in this house. And then the twist was, stop.
Not to apologize.
Yeah, stop apologizing,
Yep.
because we understand. Now that we have that settled, and so as he goes later on throughout the movie, just a number of funny circumstances. Just it had our theater laughing a lot.
Yeah, I heard a lot of reactions in our theater. Laughs, like almost cries or and then gasps.
Gasps,
Yeah. So I guess that's a sign of a great movie. It's bringing emotions out of people. And this one hit a bunch of them.
Yeah,
I
some-
plan to go see it again. Yeah.
someone in my theater did like a fist when he got like his job,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
Yeah.
full time position. You're like,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, there was like so many times where people would laugh where, oh, yeah, then what he was telling to the judge, but there was the one point where he's trying to get the job I really like what's the guy's name that was the head, like, keeper?
Was it Tommy or Tommy?
Tom.
It starts
Tom.
with a T.
Tommy.
Yeah. Okay.
Thomas.
Yeah.
because he was telling the crow, "Hey Tom, how's it going?"
Yeah. Yeah, I like that part too. See, it's him. He's not flying away. He's still there. But there was like a point where they were doing the interview. You could tell they were like kind of going back and forth. But he has a tick and he hits his dog, and he goes, something along the lines of like, "We're good, but if you ever do that again, I
You
will
do that
rip your
again,
heart."
rip your fucking heart out.
and he was like, "Okay," But
Understood.
I love later. He had a couple labs. He had
He had dogs.
Found his companionship with those furry babies are crazy how attached you get to them, and it was cool that he was able to find some of that too.
Yeah, because he loved that dog,
Mhm.
the guy's dog. And as soon as he sat down, though, next to the dog,
You knew something
I
was
was
going
like,
to happen.
oh, no,
brain-
because he had already smacked Dottie in the face. I'm like,
Well,
oh, no,
and
he's
it
going
was
to
on
hit
his-
the dog.
And it was on his right side too.
Yeah, on his right side. And I was like, no, just like move, like turn
Mm-mm.
around the other way. And he did it. Oh, yeah, that was the one that got a lot of gasps from people.
yeah, and when Dottie got at the supermarket.
Well, I like
When he's-
The
when he went in for another interview, and so as he's walking to the door, he's going, "I'm getting canned today,"
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blew it, or whatever.
Oh, you picked it up, John.
Yeah,
And then he had those cups of teas, and as he's walking, he goes, "Ah!" And he had that one pop out, and he goes, "Ah!"
and then he's like, well, in the interview,
Poor dude.
he was like, I got to see how good a cup of tea you can make. And he did the thing and he spit in the one. He's like, I'll take that one. And he's like, yeah, I think that's best. Kind of that Tom. He was like, yeah, I think that's probably best, kind of a thing. But
Oh yeah, it's
But,
a really rewatchable movie.
there's just a lot of great humanity there. I don't know.
It's very uplifting
Yes.
despite how sad it is.
Yeah.
Well,
because life isn't sunshine and roses
That's
all
true.
the time, and when you can have some people that can work with you, and you both are knowing that you have give and takes on both sides, and I don't know. It was a good movie. I did not know what to expect going into it. The only thing I'd heard about was the commotion from the thing we won't talk about, but but it was a great surprise. Yeah.
I knew
Some of
nothing
these
about
mystery movies are some pretty cool surprises. I'll
Yeah.
say that. So
I knew nothing on it, but yeah, I was in my brain. I was thinking it's a healthy looking Gollum. When he was looking in the mirror,
yeah,
it looked healthy. But the other
No,
one,
he's Elrond.
but that's where my brain went, is like, you look more like Gollum than anything. But the other one was what was it? Yeah, I knew nothing about it. I just I thought it was a nice break from the repeated various horror films that we had been going through.
we've
It was
had a
just
lot. We've had a lot.
disappointment after disappointment. I was just like, okay, this is a much nice break. This is awesome. So yeah.
it's heartbreaking, but a feel good
time.
movie at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
If that makes
perfectly-
sense, I don't
It's
know.
perfectly balanced.
Yeah,
That stuff.
Yeah.
So
you get tugged a couple different ways. I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
And with the device that he ended up getting, I love that scene too.
Oh, with the library.
The library
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah. He had worked so hard, and then he gets to have an actual normal human conversation.
And the train ride.
yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the
The
lady at
normal
the
human
end.
conversation.
I was like, yeah, that tugged. I don't want to go, but that tugged at some stuff there, because I
did.
was like, he had that moment, and they're sharing a AirPod, or whatever, and listening to some music together, and just having a talk. But on his trip out there,
Yeah.
you had people scattering away from him,
Because he
and-
got on there saying,
and
"I have a
said, "I got a
bomb!"
bomb, I got a bomb,
I have a bomb.
yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
But could you
Oh,
imagine? Could
poor
you?
I
guy.
love the police scene. I have a crack. I have cocaine.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Pigs, 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 pigs.
I'm telling you,
as they're
Rachel,
walking
yes,
up
it was
at
like
him, I'm
all
like-
these moments,
I'm like-
oh my gosh.
But
Show us your hands.
Yeah,
The
and he
other
like
one
brings one
too,
out, the
David.
other one.
Then
and
he
he's
just
like,
gives them the
Okay,
package.
there you go.
Here's the package.
But could you? I just can't even imagine. Like, we all have those moments. Like, what's the worst possible thing I could see at this moment? And that's what comes out of your mouth, you know. And you can't control that. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
And then that's where you see him have a lot of those heartbreaking moments throughout his life. You know, as a kid in the schoolyard or at a bar, you know, and not meaning to do anything, you know, and or the lady coming out of the restaurant or whatever, you know, and you know, moments where you're feeling good. Like there's like one that's like you're feeling optimistic, and it just kind of sweeps your legs out from
Absolutely,
underneath
yeah.
you, you know, and you're just like, man, when he goes into the hospital.
And
that
he
whole
said,
thing.
you know, I'm so tired. Like he
Yeah.
just like his whole life was just a battle.
But can you like?
It's
But I think people can feel it. I'm not saying you got it as hard as him, but like everybody's got those moments where you're just like, I'm tired. I just want to break, you know. And I think everybody can relate to that on some level and feel for him. And
Oh, yeah.
I definitely could. I'll be quiet now. Sorry, I feel like I'm
Oh,
talking a lot.
No, there's
I
an
do
issue.
want-
Talked. We love
It's a
it.
good movie. It's a good movie.
It is.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
all thumbs up for me.
This is, if not the best film of the year, certainly up there. So
Oh
far.
yeah,
It's up there with Hail Mary. Yeah.
His acting
It's
in this
way on up
too.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
oh so good.
I really was thinking he might have that. I was like, I wonder if he actually has history with this, because it was just like he's really good with it.
He's just very good actor. Kind of like how Joaquin Phoenix did with in Joker, with
Yeah.
that disorder that he had in Joker. That
Yeah.
that's really how those people are. People that have it, like Joker did in that movie. Because I watched videos, and he did a really good job depicting that. This guy, so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he gets recognized a lot more for
Same.
For
So-
sure. You should. All right. I do want to bring up a few chats. Cannibal Holocaust was a rough watch, but surprisingly poignant. Yeah, it buried under everything. There is a message there that I think is important. So while that movie is a very, very rough watch, and I it's almost like I can't suggest it, but at the same time, it is trying to make a statement about reality television and how eventually they're going to kill somebody doing one of these things.
Mm.
And basically just don't go off to a foreign land and F with people.
Yeah.
Because they'll bite back. Literally.
Well, maybe
Session
that's
9.
maybe that's like the reality TV show internet complex right now, where you think you can
Yeah.
do whatever you want and not have any repercussion or any type of reaction back. Not saying it's justified or not justified, but not to even think there's going to be something that's going to come back in your
like
face for
The
it.
famous Mike Tyson saying.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Too many of y'all have gotten accustomed to social media.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right. Bill says Session 9 is my most favorite horror films from the early 2000s, and he has dropped a link to the trailer for that film for those of you who might not be familiar with it. I do very highly
I'll have to check that out. I
recommend
haven't
it.
seen
It's very good. It's very
Yes.
creepy.
Very good.
And
You saw Corey
I-
the Truck Ninja.
What's that? I probably own it, but I haven't watched it yet. I thought that's my catchphrase, isn't it? I own it, but I haven't watched it yet. I see what you did there, Nick.
I do want to say hello to Acres of Movies, who is in the chat. Tim asking, not seriously though, is the movie rated R because of the language? Yeah,
Actually,
as far as
yes.
the- yes.
That's all I can-
There's nothing else in it, but there's the violence when he gets beaten up really
Yeah,
bad.
but you see that,
Yeah.
and
Right, it's the language.
I think it's the language. It said it too many times.
And
Or-
yeah, oh
Yeah.
boy, they don't hold back on it either.
No.
but they're being realistic with it, you know.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
and it was okay.
I do want to say hello to Lieutenant Giratina. I'm going to be joining him tomorrow night for his Lionheart discussion at 9 p.m.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Outlaw Bill asking about Grace Randolph. Why are you still listening to that lady?
Well, I'm not, but other people that I watch or stuff of hers comes up in on Twitter or YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about that, because she went on this huge virtue signaling ridiculousness. Just
Yeah.
showing her ignorance for all the world to see.
I want to say hello also to Andrea Black.
Hello.
And I cut off the first half of this, unfortunately, but Sasha was bringing up a YouTuber who also has Tourette's, who apparently had as he says, her own incident at the Game Awards. So, yeah.
So she did a video. She's Black. And she did it when she has Tourette's, and she did a video trying to explain the situation. And she got harassed because she was accused of choosing her disability over her race.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, and her video was very informative, because when she's doing it, like, she's breaking out into curse words, flipping the bird, she does all these ticks, and she's just explaining the way it is.
Balin Out Loud. That I think it's on TLC is the channel, but Balin Out Loud is one that is actually.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah, okay.
She has Tourette's and she does a lot of it. Yeah. It's very funny, but also they have a lot of serious, heartbreaking moments. So I can't remember who introduced me to it, but I think I watched maybe a couple episodes. Really good. So.
Proctophile is recommending Motherless Brooklyn with Edward Norton, where he plays a detective with Tourette's.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that, Sin?
No, I haven't.
seen that.
I just went and put it on my to watch list on Critic List.
Oh, yeah, I remember when the trailers came out, and it's still on my list. I haven't seen it, but yeah, I remember that one.
I enjoyed it. It's just a little bit with his dialogue, but maybe it's just me getting annoyed with his voice. But
Yes, I can see that happening to me too.
I just don't like his face.
yeah,
Let's Johnny Watching says Cannibal Holocaust is a good film if you're strong enough. Damn good score too. Yeah.
I've never
Sachi,
seen it. Heard so many things about it. But I've never seen it.
is fucking bleak.
I just
but
heard.
it makes
I
its
heard
point.
I heard there was a turtle scene. But
Yeah, I mean,
Johnny Somali. Yeah, pretty much Johnny Somali.
yeah,
The Green Inferno
cool.
was kind of
a version
Cannibal
saw that
Holocaust
one.
of it.
was inspired Green Inferno.
Proctophile says very rough watch, but it really drove home how important it is to treat people with basic respect and decency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pushing the wrong person can end very badly. Yes, indeed. And hello to Multi Malady. We are about to wrap things up here. Okay. So we kind of a mild review of Faces of Death, Rachel.
Yes,
said,
mild
2
review.
to 2.5.
Faces of Death. I would recommend watching it at home on the next Friday the 13th. That falls on a Friday the 13th.
so if it
There you
pops up
go.
on your streaming service, check it out.
Yeah, if it pops up on streaming and you have nothing to do, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
I bet you
And
have
hello-
Scottish. Sorry,
Scottish
I
Hey,
saw
Jimmy.
his
Yeah.
comment. Yeah, I bet you
Oh.
have.
All right.
Yeah, fantastic. We loved it. I think
Well,
you
you probably
gathered that
saw it
by
way
now. Yeah,
before
he
we
did. He saw it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. So, like we said, kind of a mild review of Faces of Death from Rachel, and the rest of us are like thumbs up on I Swear. So,
I swear, go see this one.
Watch it.
No,
Watch it.
seriously, it's
Yeah,
so
Supporting
it's
him, yeah, that was really good.
being a smarty about it, but it was such a good movie. And like I said, it pulled at a lot of different emotions throughout the whole thing.
All
Like,
of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Oh wow, lucky.
Cool.
That's
nice,
great.
nice.
right on.
Jimmy's been doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, yes.
No
it's cool
way.
to see.
Yeah. You should go check out
Nice.
his stuff. You should
He's
go check out
good.
his
He's a
channel.
good guy. Yeah, he's a good
Scottish dude, I love your country. Your country. Like I was over there
Yes.
I went to St. Andrews. Oh my gosh. Best country ever. It was-
All right. Well, we do have to wrap it up because I have another show to get to. Live from Sparkwood 21. It's going to be beginning right after this program is over. So stay tuned to my channel. Just thank you. I love my country also. Good. Right on. You should.
It's a lovely
Right
one.
to history.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get over there.
St. Andrews is indeed a beautiful part. I've heard that. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go one time around the horn. Rachel, what do you have coming up?
Hello, hello, hello. Did everyone know that Rashida Jones and Kate McKinnon had a sci-fi movie that released in February? Well, neither did I. So I am starting a new video. It's called, in case you missed it, Real Late News, REEL. And it will enclose everything that is on streaming and everything in the movies that you may have not known that has come out. So be on the lookout for that and a couple of other videos. Thank you.
All right. Corey.
Just hanging out, doing my regular thing. Friday, I'll have my lunch live stream that I usually do. But this Thursday, if long as she's not too violent, we will have Sin and Anthony and Ashley on we're going to be talking some action movies, and it's going to be all over the place. We're not just limiting it to your traditional action movies. There could be some of those because they're a lot of fun. But yeah, we're just going to be hanging out, having a good time, talking about some action movies that we have a good time watching. So that'll be this Thursday night over on my channel. But other than that, I'll kind of post it as I go. But I appreciate you having me on again.
You're welcome anytime. Enigma.
Oh goodness, dude, I'm really intrigued with what Rachel just shared because I didn't know. So I'm gonna be like, yep, I'm gonna go and watch some of those because I can tell you, earlier in life, I did a lot of travel, so I missed a lot, and so I will be back here next week. I am most likely going to be supporting for Sparkwood and 21, plugging it for you, and then I have to pause for extra things because I am moving into my new house. So excited about that.
Yay.
So yeah, those are the big things happening.
Cool. Sin.
Okay. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be co-streaming with Sound Booth Theater. We're going to be talking about 3 movies that have to do with some upcoming releases we've got. And then Thursday, of course, with Corey. I'll be hanging a couple hours. Don't think I can do the 4 to 5 hour stream, Corey.
We'll keep it under 6.
Yeah, I'm going to be bowing out probably about 11, but because I have to be up early the next morning. And then Friday with Latino Slant, Los Cinematicos episode, we're going to be talking about 3 movies that made us realize how much we loved film. And then next week, back here again for the next mystery movie.
Dun, dun,
That's it.
dun.
All right.
I might actually have that one too. I don't know of it yet, but I have a couple more.
Okay.
Mine has been popping up things really last minute lately. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Deleted.
Quite all right. All right. As for myself, like I said, next up, live from Sparkwood 21. It's going to be beginning here in a few minutes. I am going to be joining Lieutenant Giratina over on his channel for a discussion on Jean-Claude Van Damme's Lionheart, and which I gotta find some time then to sit down and rewatch the movie. So don't tell him, even though he's in the chat. And let's see. Thursday, I'm going to be joining at 5:30. I'm going to be joining Outlaw Bill for action theater. This week's movie is going to be the Sin City sequel, A Dame to Kill For. And later on that night at 11 p.m., my show Coming Attractions, where you get to find out what I am going to be up to next weekend, up to and including my appearance on Films with Friends on a Saturday night. And I'm going to be joining Big Al Presents, Netters Network and Troy Pacelli for The Reluctant Astronaut, starring Don Knotts. And wait a couple of Fridays from now because I talked Al into watching Ultraviolet. So I don't know how this is going to go, but it's going to be a fun one. All right. It is called AWOL overseas. Yeah. All right. So that is the show for this evening. Any last words before we sign off?
Go watch a good movie.
Go see
Right.
us.
Yeah.
Keep watching.
Just see, I swear.
Yeah,
It's worth a watch.
for sure.
Indeed. All right.
Bye.
And bye. And as I always say at the end of every program, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy, because this is how we win. There's a theme song. I will now play it. Thank you.
Cue the music.
One by one. Oh, here. Well,
It was like 19.
There it is.
but it's what we do. All right.
It's even odd when Ronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture films in the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah. Get out on your YouTube, brother, let's go.